Hello, people. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever you are. Hope you're having a great day today. We are back with another video. This time is going to be hopefully a short one, and I wanted to touch on some of the things that have been going on social media. I wanted to talk on that because there's been a lot of rumors, a lot of fake news, and I just wanted to say, people, that, well, don't believe a lot of the things that people are talking about on social media. If you want to believe something, go to Sky Sports, go to Fabrizio Romano, go to reliable sources, because what I've been looking at so far on social media is just a disgrace. And I was able to point out like only three major news, and that was it. All these rumors that, and I'm sorry I made a mistake because I spoke about Diomande as well. Last video I talked as well about Barcola, and to be fair, those are only rumors. I thought they were true, but after hearing all of this and the people talking on social media, decisions that make no sense, like selling Gyökeres, I think it's just a bunch of stuff to get clicks, to get views, and rage bait people or confuse the fan base, make it seem like Arsenal is doing a lot in the transfer market to get new players. And the truth is, we haven't. We've been very slow this transfer window. And this is one of the news that I was able to take a look at and confirm that are true. The first one is we are now making, talking with Newcastle over a deal to sign Bruno Guimarães. And well, apparently now this is directly with Newcastle to try and get a price tag for Bruno Guimarães, which I think is the marquee signing for this transfer window. I think he really, if he comes to the team, really is going to improve the midfield, is going to give chance to Declan Rice to rest, and him and Skelly look like a great solution. Him and Mikel Merino or Subimendi, well, not really Subimendi, I'm not a fan of him, but him and Merino in the midfield, I think, are good enough to beat mid-table teams comfortably. You know what I think of Merino. I think Merino should be a striker for us. But I see Bruno Guimarães as a great option to help the injury of Declan Rice heal and just give him time so he can be out of the pitch, enjoying his time, recovering, and help him get back to the very best, 100%. So I think Bruno Guimarães is definitely a great option for us. I think now we're kind of late into the transfer window to start talking with Newcastle again. Supposedly we spoke before. Cannot confirm that, but now at this moment in time to start talking with Newcastle, I think it's too late. Preseason is almost starting. The players are already training, so we definitely needed the new guys to be already at the training ground, because we saw, and I'm going to speak about it later, last season we took too long to bring Gyökeres in, and he couldn't catch up the pace of the club, the training, the ideas of the manager. Victor Gyökeres was late into that catching up process and understanding how we wanted to play. So I think preseason is very important. You need to have the new players on the pitch the first game of the preseason. So I think we're definitely late on this one. And as I mentioned before, I wished we could have been more proactive this transfer window. Supposedly Morgan Rogers was our main target. He left, he went to Chelsea for 117 million, which I think is a lot of money for him. So what are we going to do to try to replace that player that just joined Chelsea? Well, at the moment, I cannot confirm we're trying to sign players in that position. We already have Solis, who is going to be announced in the next days. And well, apparently now the next target is Bruno Guimarães. That is the main target at the moment, in my opinion, the marquee signing if we get him. And hopefully the negotiations are going to be all right. I don't think they are going to sell him for a high price, and I'm just speaking my mind right here, because they don't want a similar situation to what happened with Isaac. So in my opinion, we can really negotiate with Newcastle a fair price for Bruno Guimarães. So apparently this has just happened. We're starting talking with Newcastle about the deal and possible price tag of the player, and we'll have to see what happens in the next days. Now, I'm gonna come back to this one right here, but other news, Solis, he's gonna use the number 17. Cool. Well, new signing. Hope it works. I think he's a good replacement for Trossard. A lot of people have been talking about him not being good enough, not being what we need. I genuinely think, as I mentioned before in my previous videos and lives, this guy is a hidden gem that we are trying to get the best from. So that's what we're trying to do. We see big teams, top teams competing like Man City, Man United now. They try to find players from lesser leagues to make them the next big thing at the club. And I think that's what Arsenal are trying to do right here. And I think it's going to work. The stats are there. I look up his stats and he has been very good for the teams he's played, including Brujas, the recent one. So I think with a little bit of guidance and just getting that preseason going, I think he's going to be a great addition to the squad. Hopefully I'm alright, because I want every single player to be at their best at Arsenal, because we need them to compete for each competition and win trophies. So hopefully that's what's going to happen with this guy, Christos Solis. Now, the third news that I was going to break out right here. William Saliba will be out for an extended period of time, but no surgery. He has decided after assessments that the surgery not recommended. He's not going to have a surgery, but he's going to be out for a long time. And well, he will start the rehabilitation process immediately, and the team is going to have a management of his injuries. So, well, of his injury, back injury. This is, well, I think good news, because back surgery are just, like, those surgeries are very complicated. The players, they don't end up at 100%. They barely recover. I've seen before ex-players talking about back injuries and how tough it was for them to recover, that they never got to 100% ever again. And I think at this moment in time, after the assessments, if they have decided not to go through surgery, is a good news for us, good news for Saliba, the club. And well, if he's going to have to be out for a while, we need to get a replacement. And I know people have been talking about John Stones being part of a possible replacement. I thought as a short-term replacement he was going to be good enough. We have signed an 18-year-old player from Spurs, big promise. But I cannot confirm that John Stones is going to join Arsenal. There's no, like, rumors. Well, there's no direct rumors with us. Apparently he just wants to join a club in London. Apparently he is also close to joining Chelsea, or sees Chelsea as an option. So a lot of rumors. I think all the rumors regarding John Stones are just trying to get attention to him or to other teams, and just fan bases making rumors to get clickbaits and to get clicks, likes, dislikes, retweets, whatever. So I'm not going to say anything about just John Stones. In my opinion, if we go for him, he would be a great short-term option. But we have to remember, well, we have Mosquera, now we have the 18-year-old option. And we're going to have to see what happens. I think at this moment in time, I'm kind of sad that we don't have Kivior anymore. I thought Kivior, even though he wasn't that best defender, or he was decent enough to compete at the Premier League, and I thought he would have been a great option at this moment in time with Saliba's injury. But now we have Mosquera. I think Mosquera could do a job as well. So we just gonna have to see what the manager decides to do. In my opinion, we need to go for a defender, and right now we don't have concrete evidence nor concrete rumors about a defender joining the squad, or us being interested in a defender, more established defender, not Obson that I mentioned. He's only 18 years old, big promise, and he's joining from Spurs to Arsenal. So I think 18 years old. We got Saliba at that age. I think Saliba was 19. We're gonna have to see if he is as good as Saliba was at the time. If that's the case, well, just play him. So we're gonna have to see. The manager is gonna be the one to decide that. But yeah, great news that he's not going through the injury. I prefer him just to rest and recover. So that's one of him. And then I wanted to touch on some of the things, well, the fans have been talking about. Roy's cooked. If we get Bruno Guimarães, I think it's going to be the perfect time for Rice to rest. Saka Achilles done. He hasn't looked the same for a while. Saliba, back injury. Solis our marquee signing. I'm not mad about him joining the club, but we should have been more proactive and already should have at least 3 players at the club already. Then Jesus and Vieira are still at the club. Yes, that's another thing that I don't like about. We should be looking to sell these guys as soon as possible, because Vieira is not going to improve the squad. He's not coming out here to produce for us. We can't even like increase the market value for him because he doesn't have the qualities. Like, no team wants him, really. So Jesus, apparently there were rumors about him joining Milan, but again, no concrete evidence. Basically just a rumor. So apparently he's gonna stay at the club. At this, how the things are going, how everything looks, seems like he's gonna stay at the club. Are we gonna play him left wing? Maybe that's one of the reasons why we want to keep him at the club, but I prefer to sell him. In my opinion, we need to move on from him. Madueke as a right wing option. Well, even Tuchel took him as a main option, so we don't know if that was because of Saka's injury or you know, that thing with Saka is really concerning. To be fair, like, he's very young, and the fact that he's been 2 seasons playing with an injury, and we saw what Thierry Henry talked about at TBS of him, Saka, recovering from injuries and how tough it was the last season for him. That's very worrying. And when your next player is Madueke to be on the right wing, at least we have Max Dauman, so hopefully he's going to be taken in consideration more this season. And then, well, something that I wanted to say, and I really apologize for the rumors that I spoke about Gyökeres. Supposedly, we were offering Gyökeres to get Alvarez, and I mentioned that for me, that wasn't the right decision. Basically, I blasted the idea of sending Gyökeres to Atletico Madrid just to get Alvarez. I don't think that's fair. I think Gyökeres had a nice enough season to be his first season at the club, and also he is the right man, in my opinion, to move us forward. As soon as he joined the club, we were able to win the league, and he didn't have like the best season ever, but he helped us a lot. And there were like rough patches of him not scoring, him not like contributing to the squad, but I think this was just the first season for him to adapt. We're not getting a Haaland, we're not getting an Isaac, like, we're getting Gyökeres, that he's one of those guys that he's had to improve himself and do a lot of training and a lot of studying of the game to be the player he's today. So we just need this guy to adapt to the club. And well, this was the post for last year when we got him. And then 1 year later, Arsenal hoping to retain the title by only signing a third choice goalkeeper so far. I get the frustrations from the fans because we haven't been that active. But I wanted to talk about the Gyökeres situation because right here, let me just go through it. Fake news. This guy centered goals. I don't know who the fuck that account is or who is like running that account. Fake rumors. Atletico Madrid and Arsenal have reached an agreement over Julian Alvarez, 50 million plus Gyökeres. Alvarez is refusing personal terms as he wants Barcelona and is demanding Atletico Madrid to honor a prior promise. Thank you to that community notes and guidelines. No such agreement between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal for Julian Alvarez exists. And cited source El Chiringuito has not reported. Supposedly El Chiringuito reported the news. So Atletico Madrid CEO confirms they will not sell Julian Alvarez in this summer. And there's been a lot of talk, a lot of fake news pages that just get like, they basically wake up and think, what can I do today to get views and get clicks? And they do this fucking shit. And that's how the rumor spreads. And then you have players not being happy at the club because of fake rumors and stuff. Fans fighting between Gyökeres and Alvarez, who's better, who is going to work more at the club, who is going to be better for Arteta to win the league and to score goals. You have all those arguments just for fake fucking news. The truth is, we've been slow this transfer market. Gyökeres is staying at the club. There's no agreement between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal, and that's basically it. We're trying to get Bruno Guimarães, apparently, and that's the only truth at the moment. We're getting Solis, that's the other truth. These rumors about fucking Gyökeres leaving after one season for Julian Alvarez, don't believe them. That's not gonna happen. We have never done that in recent years. I can't remember a guy that joined here one season and then left. Especially with how big Gyökeres was for us. And just let me get a look at this one. 50 games, 21 goals, 3 assists. I don't care about the assists. This guy came here to score goals. 21 goals in 50 games is not a bad record. Apparently this season wasn't his best. He was shit. 21 goals. Those 21 goals helped us to win the league. Helped us to reach the Champions League final. To compete for every single competition we've played, basically. And now there's rumors and fans spreading fake news about Gyökeres joining Atletico Madrid. Avoid that. Like, don't listen to it. Go through the correct sources. Fabrizio Romano, Sky Sports. Don't believe those type of accounts like Center Goals. What the fuck, bro? Source, dude, trust me. And this thing went around like 569k followers. And they are just there spreading fake news. Like, this is just shit, man. Like, we have a big platform, a big account spreading fake news. Again, Barcola, another fake news. Like, literal source is like, trust me, bro. That's the source. Trust me. And I genuinely like the community guidelines because those are the ones we can believe. Let me just look at this guy. Apparently this is the available source, Sky Sports News. Don't think this guy has ever said that about Barcola and Arsenal. I have to take a look into it, but I genuinely, like 10 hours ago, I just went down. Let me just take a look at it. We went down to February 3rd. No news about Barcola joining Arsenal. So just don't listen to this type of Twitter pages. I think this is a disgrace what they're doing, the fake news that they are spreading. Alvarez, at the moment, is not joining Arsenal. We're not going to give Gyökeres away after one season. We've always been known for giving time to players. Martinelli is still at the club after 2 bad seasons. Gabriel Jesus is still at the club. Fabio Vieira is still at the club. We sent the guy out on loan, but not for sale. Reece Nelson is still at the club. So a bunch of players. We kept El Neni just because he was experienced. We've been known for keeping players and then letting them go for free. This season has been different because we sold Trossard. We're looking to sell Martinelli apparently. And those are guys that their contract was, well, for Martinelli, the contract will expire next season. For Trossard, was going to expire next season. So it makes sense that we're trying to sell these players and that we sold Trossard. but not Gyökeres after one season, especially after contributing with 21 goals in 50 games and 3 assists. We don't bought the guy to get assists. We've got him here to score goals. And even as a rough season that he had, he managed to score 21 goals. If we get to that attack to click, if we get whoever is going to play attacking midfielder, Eze or Odegaard, to click with Gyökeres, that guy, he is going to be able to score at least 26 goals. Being completely honest. So just don't believe in the fake news. He's not going to leave. We're not going to give Gyökeres away to Atletico Madrid and then put another 50 million for Alvarez. Fake news. Don't trust a lot of the sources because they just spread fake rumors. Gyökeres, after one season at the club, is going to stay. Maybe if he has 1 year left in the contract, that's when we're going to look to sell him. But at the moment, after the season he's had, that was apparently a bad season, 21 goals, good enough. It was unfortunate that in the final he wasn't able to score against PSG, that he didn't look that great, in my opinion. That had to do with a lot of the subs that we made, but we missed the competition. Like, we failed to win against PSG because of a mistake, an individual mistake from a young player in Mosquera. That was it. Not other players to blame. So yeah, don't believe in the fake news. Thank you to the guidelines right here for letting us know that this is fake news. No agreement between Atletico Madrid and Arsenal. Julian Alvarez at the moment is staying, and supposedly he wants to join Barcelona. That's it. So yes, very helpful. Very, very helpful. Let me just go at it right here. High quality sources, that's it. So we can agree. Nice. But yeah, and then something else that I wanted to talk about, and I agree with Robbie right here. Preseason is so important to get players up to speed. You saw Gyökeres last year, he didn't have a proper preseason to get going, and it took him a while to get going. So something that I don't agree too much with what Arsenal Fan TV says, but this is completely true. I think it's well known in football that when you get a new player, you need that player to play through the whole pre-season with the club to get up to speed, get to know the quality of the players around them, get to know as well what the manager wants from the new signing, how we're going to play, how we can understand each other on the pitch. So I think it's very well known that you need the new signings to be before the preseason starts, so they can get that rhythm going when the season starts. So hopefully we're going to be able to get the new guys as soon as possible. Hopefully the negotiations with Bruno Guimarães are going to happen very quickly, and we're going to buy the player as soon as possible, because we definitely need to get that preseason going with the new guys. And when I find out about possible signings for the wings, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to just set the sources, and hopefully they're going to be true information about the up and coming players. Hopefully this transfer window after Bruno Guimarães, we're going to go for the wings. We need wingers to help the attack get going. So let's see what happens. We already have Solis, but I think we need definitely more on those wings. So we'll see what happens. Thank you guys for hearing this. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Please like, subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye, people. I'll see you next time.